I did kind of round off these edges here just to give it a little better look. And at the end of the day, it is a little chunky. Welcome back to the workbench, where we try to make things. And what we're continuing to try to make today is Revell's Ford FD-100 pickup, a truck that was designed by Foose Designs. Now we're going to do it a little different, as you know. We've been working on the chassis. We're going to put this on airbags, so we're having to notch the back half of the chassis, or put notches in the back rails. I don't exactly remember where we finished off last time, but we kind of did part one, I guess last episode. So if you need to get caught up on that, there is a playlist down in the description. And also, I have to mention, if you'd like to build along, there's a link in the description where you can pick up this kit. But back to work. What we've got, well, you can see I've actually got the notches finished, but I took photos along the process so I can kind of show you how I got here. This is how I did it. I don't know if it's exactly the right way to do it. If you have better ways of doing it, of course, just let me know down below. But basically, I had cut out the inside and outside walls of the notch, and then glued them up using our chassis table, I guess we're calling it. So we had marked the chassis table to make sure everything was parallel, perpendicular, square, all that kind of stuff. And that's what I used to line up the notches themselves. And of course, check last episode if you didn't see kind of how we got to there. And then what I did is I added filler up in the top of the notches. So instead of just capping it off, I wanted to actually give mass to it, because I wanted to make sure that this holds, that it's nice and strong. So I didn't want to leave the notch hollow. So I just actually stacked up a few sheets of styrene that was the right thickness, clamped them up, glued them up, CA glued them, and clamped them up. And it's actually made it a very strong notch now. And then I just started capping the front and back, the leading and tailing edge of the notch, however you want to say that. Just basically oversized pieces of styrene, capped off the notches, and then I left them oversized, so then I can just kind of start whittling them down with an X-Acto, basically getting it close. I took an X-Acto knife and just kind of got it close to the right size, and then used my sanding stick, which I have a sanding stick that has a coarse side and a fine side, and I was able to just kind of briefly coarse sand it down and then fine sand it to be nice and smooth. And basically what I did is I just sanded until I started losing my pencil lines. And I made sure to try to keep it flat across the entire surface of the notch. Does that make sense? So I was basically sanding the front piece and the back piece kind of at the same time, so that I got a nice flat surface inside and out. I kind of did it that way. And then it was just a matter of cutting out the original pieces that were in here, original pieces of the frame rail, just cutting them out. And then, as you can see now, I've had to then kind of do the same thing. I by the way, just so you know, I used my little coping saw to cut out those pieces of the frame rail that you see here. And I have removed it. So, I had removed it from the frame table once everything was cured and strong. Now, we do still need to put our braces in between here, but everything's square and strong. And if I set it on the table, well, it's hard to tell, but it is square back here. But I didn't remove it from the table till everything was cured up, but I needed to get it off the table so I could do the sanding. When I say table, I mean our little piece of MDF. But anyways, and then I to finish it off, I've just been sanding down those cutout pieces. I used the coping saw and cut it kind of close. I did kind of round off. Let me make sure you guys can see. I did kind of round off these edges here just to give it a little better look. And at the end of the day, it is a little chunky. It is, I wish I had made it a little. You can see the size of the frame rail, and then the size of the notch. Pretty chunky. I'm wondering if I should try to I could bring it down in size from the inside here, but I don't know. I might just go with it. I don't think it's awful. I think it'll be okay. In fact, do we have? Where's it at? I have it out somewhere. Where did I put? Here we go. I wanted to kind of set. I haven't done this yet. I wanted to set the bed on, and we can kind of take a look. Yeah, you know, it's going to be sitting in here like this. I don't know. I don't know how much it's going to. I think it's going to be okay. Like I think I'm gonna go with it. Now, obviously, we're going to build a big notch in the bed also. So you know, it's gonna, or a tunnel, I should say. We're gonna have to, you know, modify the bed of the uh, whatever this is called. We're gonna have to modify the floor of the bed. There we go, of the truck, with a big tunnel so that everything will fit in there, and then we'll put all. I think we'll put all the air pumps and things like that, and the air tanks and all that. I guess compressors and tanks in the back here. But I think that's gonna look. I think it's gonna look okay. I also started gluing up the rear end, so we can kind of see, you know, how it's gonna tuck way up in here. I don't know. I'm not real sure which way it goes, but anyways, I think it's going to tuck, you know, nice way up in there if we need it to. We're going to have plenty of room to work with the rear end in there. Now, I do need to, so I don't want to leave this stuff rough. Obviously, the top side, I don't know how much it really matters because it's going to be hidden by the tunnel in the bed of the truck. But I definitely want to cap off the inside, see how we can still see the sandwiched piece, but I don't really want to add any more thickness or mass. So what I think I might do at this point is just bodywork it. So I might just use some body filler, fill this inside edge in. I'll probably do the top also just because, and then sand it smooth. And then that won't add any thickness to the notches, any more thickness at least, because they're, like I said, they're about as heavy as in fact, heavier than I really want them to be, but you know, it is what it is. I might have to do a little body work on the outsides here. I mean, this is full of these, you can see where's something I can point with. You can see, you know, we've got these edges here. I think what I might do is just fill these with CA glue just to strengthen those bonds and then sand that smooth. There's just a little bit, I mean, it's pretty full of glue already. But there's a little bit, and if I need to body work it, I'll body work it and get it all nice and smoothed out. Because that you will see at the end of the day, even once we have our bed on, which will be something like that. And where's a wheel? And then we have a wheel in here. I think this is front wheel, but it'll work. Yeah, you're still gonna see some of that notch, and definitely from below you'll see it. So we'll have to clean that up. But anyways, that is our notched frame. I think it came out pretty well. Like I said, we still need to, the only thing I have left to do is put in 2 pieces of round bar here, which I've had to order. I don't have round bar right now. And I do want to put in round bar. You know, I might, well, I mean, it's on order, but I might go through. You know, I could probably just use some sprue. I didn't even think about it. I keep sprue. I'm a hoarder. In fact, just right here, I can show you what kind of. This is just literally sitting right here beside me. Let me grab it. I have a bit of sprue, and I don't know why I didn't even think about this. You know what? I can probably. Oh, you know what? Yeah, right here. Look at this. So this is the answer. I mean, I've got stuff on order, but that's okay. We can keep moving ahead. Look, I can use this piece of sprue to run there. And then if we have another piece, well, you know what? I can just use this piece. I'll cut this piece out. You know what? I'm gonna do it real quick. Just so I have it. I don't know why I didn't think about it earlier, why I just thought about it now. But yeah, so I can put these in here. I'll obviously cut it smooth. And then there's our bars. That'll be perfect. Nice. Okay, and then if we need to build anything else out, we can do it that way also. So I'll do that in between episodes, between now and next time. I'll get that, and that'll actually have the back half of the chassis finished. Then it's just a matter of figuring out the front half. I need to get the bags in. That's going to help a lot too, because to try to mock everything up. Because we are going to have to put in like a 3-link, or this came with a 4-link. Maybe we can make that work. I don't know. But yeah, I got to get the bags in to get everything mocked up. But anyways, let me know what you think about the chassis so far. I think it's going to work. I think it works for me. Let me know if it works for you down in the comment section. Hit the like button if you would. It really does help. Subscribe, hype button, subscribe. Do all those things everybody tells you to do on YouTube. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.